Human sense.
Satellite and radar still shows a lot of dry weather and a lot of sunshine across mid-Michigan this afternoon. Temperatures are still on the cooler side of things, but a big improvement compared to the mid to upper 30s we were seeing this morning. We're at 60 degrees in Lansing, 61 for your current temperature in places like Jackson, Howell, Owasso, and over in St. John's. We stay dry and very sunny as we go throughout the rest of the day today. There's a lot more sunshine and dry weather in the 6-day forecast with some warmer temperatures as well. 6 News at noon starts right now.
WMMS is here for you, celebrating 75 years of bringing you the news with 6 News at noon.
The Trump administration preparing to surge federal resources to Chicago to crack down on immigration and crime. It is our top story at noon. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Kirk Montgomery. This comes as immigration officials have also begun a crackdown in Boston. President Trump is also going to speak about religious liberties at a conference in Washington, D.C. today. Natalie Brand is here for you now with the latest from Capitol Hill.
President Trump is promising to push for religious liberty in public schools, appearing for the first time at the Museum of the Bible.
I'm pleased to announce this morning that the Department of Education will soon issue new guidance protecting the right to prayer in our public schools, and it's total protection.
The remarks come during the second meeting of the administration's Religious Liberty Commission.
I created the first ever Department of Justice task force to eradicate anti-Christian bias.
The war of words between President Trump and Illinois leaders also reached a new level this weekend after the president posted this on social media, saying Chicago is about to find out why it's called the Department of War.
Let's make it clear. The President of the United States essentially just declared war on a major city in his own nation. This is not normal.
We'd love to go into Chicago and straighten it out.
President Trump has since downplayed the post, telling reporters on Sunday that he just wants to clean up the city.
We're not going to war. We're going to clean up our cities. We're going to clean them up so they don't kill 5 people every weekend. That's not war. That's common sense.
While the president has threatened to send in the National Guard, he still hasn't given a timeline and said he could make a decision in the next day or two.
Should we expect action in Chicago this week?
Absolutely. You can expect action in most sanctuary cities across the country.
This weekend, the Department of Homeland Security confirmed it's launched a new illegal immigration crackdown in Massachusetts. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Meantime, the Trump administration asking the Supreme Court for an emergency order to keep billions of dollars in foreign aid frozen. The legal fight is over nearly $5 billion in congressionally approved aid. President Donald Trump last month said he would not spend, invoking disputed authority last used by a president roughly 50 years ago. Last week, a U.S. district judge ruled that the administration's decision to withhold the funding was likely illegal. And in another case, a federal appeals court has upheld a civil jury's decision requiring the president to pay $83.3 million to E. Jean Carroll. The court rejected Trump's appeal today, affirming the damages as fair and reasonable. The award stems from Trump's repeated social media attacks against Carroll after she accused him of sexual assault in the 1990s. A separate jury also awarded Carroll $5 million in a 2023 sexual assault and defamation case. Trump's lawyers had sought a new trial, but the court's decision maintains the original judgment. And we're working to learn more today after a stabbing that happened at the Applebee's on the city's south side that left a man in critical condition. It happened just after 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon at the Applebee's on South Cedar in Lansing. Witnesses tell us it all started when a fight broke out in the parking lot, and police say the man ended up getting stabbed in the stomach. It's not clear yet what led up to that fight or whether the people involved knew each other previously. 2 people are currently in custody. Be sure to stay with 6 News for the latest on this developing story. Addressing common questions and misconceptions about childhood vaccines. That's the goal of a virtual roundtable set to happen later today, featuring some of the state's top health officials. The Michigan Academy of Family Physicians says vaccine hesitancy throughout the state is threatening children's health and the community's safety. So this afternoon, it's holding an online roundtable with 5 things every parent should know about vaccinating their children. Family physicians from all over the state say they'll be logged on to give parents the information they need to protect their kids as they head back to school. And there are nearly 10,000 rare diseases that we know of in the U.S., but only about 5% have FDA-approved treatments. Drug repurposing is one way to find new cures by using drugs that are approved for something else. For example, Viagra was initially created to treat a type of chest pain. Some high blood pressure medications are being used to treat hair loss. And a long out-of-use morning sickness drug is now used to treat types of blood cancer. The nonprofit called Every Cure is using artificial intelligence to look for even more opportunities. President and co-founder Dr. David Fajimbaum told CBS News that when he was just 26, he was diagnosed with one of these untreatable diseases over a decade ago while in med school. He took matters into his own hands, even as he faced almost certain death.
I said goodbye to my family and my friends, but then I turned into action. I started trying to find a solution for my disease. I ran experiments in my own blood samples. And I discovered a drug that had been around for decades for another disease could maybe save my life.
The doctor suffered from a disease called Cattleman. Since curing his disease, his team at the University of Pennsylvania has repurposed 13 more drugs for diseases they were not intended for. Other health news now. Food insecurity in America is even higher now than during the COVID pandemic. Research published in JAMA found that hunger declined between 2019 and 2021, but by 2023, it had grown to even higher levels. Researchers note that food insecurity fell when the U.S. expanded government food assistance programs and rose when those programs were slashed. Food insecurity is linked to numerous health problems. If you are headed out on the roads today, it's going to cost you a little bit less to reach your destination. AAA says Michigan drivers are now paying an average of $3.18 per gallon for regular unleaded. That's down 13 cents from last week. That's 10 cents less than this time last month and 8 cents less than this time last year. Drivers are paying an average of $47 for a full 15-gallon tank of gasoline. If you bought a Powerball ticket at a Quality Dairy in Lansing, check your numbers. A $50,000 winner was sold at the Quality Dairy number 24 for Saturday's drawing, and a $1 million ticket was sold in Sterling Heights.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Well, it certainly was a very chilly start to our Monday across mid-Michigan. Take a look at some of the temperatures that we were waking up to across the area. We started off the work week with temperatures at 35 degrees over in Jackson, 37 the morning low over in Mason. Here in the city of Lansing, we woke up to temperatures right around the 38-degree mark. Now, the good news is satellite and radar keeps an area of high pressure just off to our south. That high pressure system will not only help us to stay dry and sunny as we go throughout the rest of the day today, but as it slips just a little bit further east, it's going to be able to warm up our overnight lows. So by the time we get into the overnight hours tonight, our temperature is cooling down into the mid-40s, so 10 degrees warmer compared to where we were this morning. Notice those 50-degree overnight lows will be returning as we go throughout the rest of the work week, even into the weekend as well. It's not just our overnight lows that are going to be warming, but also our high temperatures as well, which will help us to overall stay above average as we move into the middle and likely towards the tail end of the month of September. In addition to that, there's going to be a lot of dry time and sunshine for you to actually go outside and enjoy those nice temperatures. Precision Cast going to keep us dry and incredibly sunny as we go throughout the rest of our Monday. Yet again, dry and mostly sunny conditions in the forecast for our Tuesday. A very weak and dry frontal system will make its way into the region just in time for our Wednesday. Again, the frontal system itself not going to have a whole lot of moisture associated with it, but we will see a very slight increase in cloud cover by the time we get into the middle of the work week. Outside right now, there's not a cloud in sight over towards the capital. Temperature 60 degrees, incredibly calm in terms of our wind speeds across the area as well. Notice current winds in Lansing 3 miles per hour, only kicking up to 6 earlier this morning. A lot more sunshine over in Grand Ledge. Temperatures currently sitting in the upper 50s. Very similar in terms of the overall sky conditions in Jackson, 61 degrees. Really impressive temperature turnaround already compared to the mid-30s we were seeing this morning. morning. Our final stop in Hillsdale also sitting in the low 60s. That peak wind gusts up to 7 miles per hour. High temperatures for today will be topping out on either side of 70 degrees across the area. Again, overnight tonight, it will be warmer, even with the mostly clear conditions that we have in the forecast. Those overnight lows only cooling down to 46 degrees. 6-day forecast, of course, shows some more good news. We stay dry and mostly sunny as we move into our Tuesday. High temperatures 77 degrees. By then, we're in the low 80s Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Saturday, a little bit of some question marks in terms of the chances for precipitation.
Okay.
As of right now, an isolated shower looks possible,
Gotcha.
but it's only going to be for the first half of the day.
But what a weather whiplash from the 30s all the way up to low 80s.
Yeah, we got a little bit of a taste of fall this morning and
Yeah.
last week.
You know, someone may have turned on the heat yesterday. I'm not saying who.
You know what? We were talking about it. I debated it
I
earlier
know,
this morning.
I know. When it was 40 degrees, I went, well, okay, let's just turn on the heat.
We can give whoever that may be a pass.
Okay, thanks, Kendall.